Hey everyone, and welcome to Gotta Go Orlando. We're back for our next Universal Orlando construction update of the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster, also known as Project 380, and that skyline is still kinda looking empty. So in today's video we'll be diving into what's happening at Universal Studios and other projects dotted around Universal Resort Florida. It's official, in 2027 Hollywood Drift will be sliding into Universal Studios. Now I know what you're thinking, we all wanted Back to the Future or Ghostbusters to reclaim that New York real estate. But let's look at the massive silver lining here. Fast and the Furious Supercharged is closing. For good. No more awkward party buses. No more CGI Vin Diesel talking about family on a blurry screen. Universal hopefully will have plans to flatten that site to give us a world-class attraction in the future. But what's happening right now for the replacement of the Hollywood Rip Ride rocket? Well, this isn't just a Hollywood clone, it's a custom-built beast designed for capacity. This isn't your average spinner. Each train features 4 cars, modelled after the iconic street racers such as Dom's 1970 Dodge Charger. We're talking 360-degree programmed rotation, unlike the teacups that spin randomly. These cars are precision engineered to drift sideways through turns and elements mimicking actual car physics. And just like Rip Ride Rocket, you'll be getting onboard audio. Expect screeching tyres, custom soundtracks, all pumped into your headrest. Though you probably won't be picking your own playlist this time, which is a shame. Since Orlando is flatter than a pancake, Intamin is going vertical. We're getting a 170-foot vertical spike that will tower over CityWalk, standing even taller than the original Rip Ride Rocket's lift hill. And if this ride has even half of the DNA of Velocicoaster, we're looking at a new world-class attraction for Universal, and it really can't come soon enough. So enough with the catch up, and let's dive into what's happening on site right now. And we're going to start right at the front of the park. Yes, that space between Hard Rock Cafe, Universal Studios main entrance and the former Nickelodeon building. We are now observing the progress made for the foundation pads and the layout for the roller coaster. As I mentioned in my last update, the wooden boxes on top of the concrete pile pads serve as a protective layer for the metal pins that the support columns will attach to. The reason they want to protect them pins is to prevent them from bending, which would shift the alignment and potentially affect the assembly of the giant puzzle, and additionally to ensure the safety of the contractors on site. I mean, you wouldn't want to fall on them. Let's just say ouch. You'll also note that each pile has a number, which possibly corresponds to the order that this massive puzzle is going to be put together. It's a bit like when you're painting a floor. You always start on the furthest side, working backwards towards the exit. I mean, you don't want to get that crane trapped. Also recently we have observed wooden orange stakes signifying the location of each footer, and I am sure that this is to make the footer or foundation more visible to the crane operator and ground crews who will be lifting them columns into position. And the fact that these stakes have been added recently suggests that we could see vertical construction very soon in this area. In the centre of this site we see a steel box erected, which forms a part of the substation or powerhouse, and next to this steel box we are seeing brickwork for a second building. Both of these buildings will house the roller coaster system that will operate the high-speed switch track and all the nervous system that will control the location of the ride vehicles within the designated block sections. You'll notice numerous conduits protruding from the ground throughout the full site, awaiting the installation of information cables and power cables for the ride system and sensors. Towards the front of the site we now can observe that the top layer of dirt has been laid, and the site area is now being cleared of all off-cut materials. The dirt has been levelled to ensure that when the crane arrives on site it will have a clear and level path to operate and lift steel supports, which, like I say, will be soon. You can also clearly see 3 large concrete pads forming a triangle. These are where the supports for the spike element will be placed. They're right against the new footpath and boundary of the site. As we delve deeper into this section, you can observe the various stages of the construction process, which is really cool. This is evident as we approach the powerhouse or substation, as we are still witnessing final stages of preparing the concrete foundation pads, the use of round molds and reinforcement bars. Conduit is still being installed beneath the dirt, which will eventually be covered over, and leveling and clearing. Moving over to the location where the high-speed switch will be installed, we can now observe the concrete plinths which the switch will be attached to. You'll also note that the type of pins and the alignment are very similar to what is being added at the station end of the site, which we'll talk about later in this video. We can also see the alignment of where the LSM linear synchronous motors will be positioned. These motors will propel you straight up the 170-foot vertical spike that will loom over CityWalk, and then you will roll back into the launch and it will propel you again through the switch track, which has already moved over to change your direction into the next section of the roller coaster's layout. Now, if you're new to how roller coasters work, the LSM launches have more than one job. The first job is to launch the ride backwards or forwards, generating momentum so that the ride vehicles complete the entire circuit of track and eventually return to the station. The second and more crucial function is to serve as a braking system, and this could happen for several reasons. The first reason is block sections. Block sections are where the full ride circuit is divided into several sections, and the system that operates the roller coaster monitors each section to ensure at any given time only one ride train is present within each block. Now, should for some reason one of them trains is slower or was to roll back after a launch, the roller coaster performs an e-stop. During this process, the LSM launches act as a braking system, stopping all other ride vehicles in their tracks and stopping the potential meeting of 2 ride vehicles. And that's why we're seeing a lot of conduit being laid and 2 new buildings being constructed to house the system that controls everything. Looking at this area, we are not far from the completion of the foundation work, and I'm certain that electricians will be installing and running all the cables to the powerhouse, and from there to the main roller coaster station system, as well as the ride platform and operator's booth. This end of the site is likely to see vertical columns going vertical soon. Most of the foundations are in, the conduit is almost completed, and the powerhouses are being constructed. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to smash subscribe, and if you're watching on TV, just scroll up on your remote and the subscribe button is just on the left hand side. It really does help the channel. And if you're also planning a trip out to Orlando, check out our affiliate links for theme park tickets, car rental, flights and accommodation. The links are in the description below. Now we're going to change location and start looking at the site near the Nickelodeon building and the midsection between sound stages 18, 21, 22 and 23 and the back of the Universal Music Plaza Stage. This area of the site is still currently in a prep phase. We can now see that the area has received its drainage and large piles have been drilled and the molds for concrete forming are installed. If you look closer, you can see the steel pins sitting on top, which are being held in place with timber to ensure that they are perfectly aligned. The next stage will be to fill these forms in, making sure that them pins stay still. This area, which runs all the way along the back of the Universal Music Plaza, is still catching up with the rest of the site. However, it won't take long to complete, as there is significantly fewer foundation pads to be installed in this section compared to the CityWalk end, as the roller coaster will reach some high points in this area. To clear the buildings, deeper piles was added for the foundations to carry the load and forces that the ride will create. Over the next week or so, we will see the foundations in this area being completed. Now we're going to change location and head to the final section of the construction site, and it's the station and maintenance barn area. This is where the real action is. The two-story maintenance building, also known as a barn, is almost fully framed and is now just awaiting the large panelling that will make the building watertight, and the last few cross beams to support that panelling. We can now see that the ground floor is having its concrete finished, while the second floor has had the reinforcement panels laid out and is awaiting to be covered in concrete. Additionally, recent permit filings indicate that work has begun inside the maintenance barn itself. If we look closely and examine the framing of the barn building, we can observe a foundation block in the center of what will be the doorway for the ride vehicles to exit onto the standard switch track before being loaded onto the circuit. This suggests that inside the barn there will be several rows that will hold the ride vehicles that are not in use, and if needed they can be loaded onto the main track circuit through this exit door. Additionally, we can see that the flooring panels have open sections through which the support columns will rise from the foundations below, and these gaps will be filled once the supports have been installed. Then the concrete will be poured for that floor. At the back of the barn, we are currently observing the installation of a steel frame, and at the top of this frame there is an I-beam track which will most likely have a hoist installed on it. This system appears to be large enough to accommodate items such as the ride vehicles when they arrive on site for loading them into the building. I personally believe that we will soon see the track segments for the barn integrated into the barn structure before the roofing is added. The design allows that the crane can pass through the building and lift the track segments into their final position. As mentioned in my previous video, I anticipate that we will have 4 or 5 bays for ride vehicles, with 1 or 2 vehicles stored overnight in the station. This could potentially result in a total of 6 to 7 ride vehicles total. Once the building is complete, it will be a 2-story structure, and the rear will have a higher ceiling to accommodate the hoist equipment, while the lower floor will provide access for repair and inspections. Next, we'll visit the ride station itself, which has now started to be visible from inside the park. This will be the building where you'll board the attraction, and as of now we are observing the I-beam steel framing rising, but before that brick towers were constructed for the coaster's lifts to provide disabled access onto the attraction itself. There seems to be 2 lifts, one for entry and one for exit. We can now begin to surmise the possible public flow in the main area of this building. We can also determine the layout of the ride platform and the layout of the track in this section of the building by locating the foundation pads below. We can also see a new concrete floor platform being constructed, which shares very similar supports with the high-speed switch track at the CityWalk end of the park. Construction teams are digging deep into the ground to lay more foundations for this concrete deck, which appears to extend backwards towards the barn. Once completed, the total footprint of both buildings will be 39,000 square feet, and the ride station building will be 3 stories tall. As we move towards the back of the station building, we can also see large block foundations being constructed. This area will serve as part of the entry point for the first launch, propelling you forward towards the front section of the park along the sound stages. Additionally, there will be a switch for the barn, which we spoke about before. As of now, I assume the primary queuing area will be located in the main building and the overflow will be outside the front of the facade of the New York Public Library. With the alignment of the foundations in this area, I don't think the ride will pass through the firehouse facade like Rip Ride Rocket did. There's a lot going on in this area and I will definitely keep you updated as the project progresses, so please remember to hit subscribe. Now near Epic Universe, the staging area, we are witnessing the arrival of new track segments, and initially the segments were covered in blue tarps, but as more segments have arrived, we've seen everything being uncovered. Some of the segments are designed for the barn and station. These segments seem to have braces for the brake fins and drive wheels ready to be attached, and recently some segments for the actual ride layout have also been delivered. Each day more things are being delivered to this site and it's exciting to keep an eye out to see what will arrive next. So that's pretty much everything covered and what's happening on site for the Fast and Furious project. Now let's explore some of the other Universal Resort news and ongoing projects. So let's start off with CityWalk itself. Apart from the up and coming spike tower that will forever change the skyline of CityWalk, we're also witnessing changes at ground level and the waterways. Luke Combs is set to open Category 10, a restaurant, bar and live music venue in 2027. This new venue will be the third location for the Category 10 brand, following the flagship location in Nashville, Tennessee, which opened in 2024. I'll be sure to include more details about this construction progress in the future updates. The location for this new venue in CityWalk is rumoured to be near the Lone Palm Airport, just across from Jimmy Buffet's Margaritaville. Moving over to Universal Studios, Men in Black Alien Attack is undergoing a short refurbishment, which a permit has been filed for and indicates the refurbishment will be from June the 1st to the 16th, 2026. This likely involves track maintenance, sensor calibration and a good clean through. Also, Flanagan's Bar and Grill is currently closed for a major interior renovation, with the reopening expected to be in winter 2026 for Halloween Horror Nights 35 2026. The permit trail is already gaining momentum, while Universal keeps the specific horror themes under code names to avoid spoilers. The locations and structural permits provide a clear indication of what to expect. Here's a breakdown of what's been spotted in public filings and speculation maps for HHN 35. Universal has filed standard notice of commencement permits for several temporary haunted houses structures. Based on these permits, here's where the screams are likely to come from. Soundstages 22, 23 and 24. These stages are known for hosting the biggest and most iconic haunted houses due to their size and soundproofing capabilities. Fast and Furious Disaster Queue. Even with the construction of Hollywood Drift, permits indicate that a house will be located in this area, often referred as Location F. This will be done with 2 tents. Behind Men in Black, 2 large permits have been filed for tent houses, which are typically home to fan favourite original concepts. The Music Plaza Stage. Filings for temporary stage equipment suggests the return of a major live show, likely a variation of the Nightmare Fuel. Universal has already confirmed through early marketing and MegaCon panels that HHN 35 will feature the return of Jack the Clown and Dr. Oddfellow as the main attractions, and they'll be incorporated in a house named Jack and Oddfellow's Chaos and Control. Permits for this specific house indicate a circus style, and it will delve into Jack's original story, beginning with his days as a human performer in Oddfellas troupe before his unfortunate transformation. Moving over to Islands of Adventure, Jurassic Park River Adventure is currently undergoing a massive, nearly year-long refurbishment. Its doors closed in January and is not expected to reopen until November the 19th, 2026. The extensive work will focus on the animatronics and ride system, but as of now we don't know if this is going to change the ride from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World. Fingers crossed it stays with the classic. The Petranagon Flyers are currently closed for maintenance until May the 14th, 2026. After years of silence following the closure of Poseidon's Fury in May 2023, the ground is finally moving. New permits filed this week indicate that Universal is moving into a massive demolition phase. Universal has been cleared to demolish approximately 4.9 acres of land. The permits cover retail and show buildings, including the long vacant 8th Voyage of Sinbad Theatre, closed since 2018, and the massive indoor structure of Poseidon's Fury. Work walls have officially been erected around the Sinbad section. While they currently feature generic Lost Continent iconography, they mark the start of phased clearing process. The million-dollar question is, what comes next? The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon Land, or something else? Adding fuel to the fire, recent permit filings have referenced Intamin Ltd, and we all know what they can create. This suggests whatever replaces the land, it won't just be a walkthrough, it's gonna be a heavy hitter. Over at Epic Universe, Celestial Park Cosmos Fountain, a significant permit was recently filed for the installation of lighting infrastructure and advanced control systems at the central fountain. The area is currently under this project, with the fountain already drained and the control area walled off to the public. Rumours suggest that this is for a new, more elaborate nighttime spectacle that was not ready for the grand opening. This could also relate to the recent installation of a new firework launch pad at the rear of the park. It seems like they're planning to make a grand finale for the end of your epic day. Stardust Racers. The dual launch coaster has been experiencing intermittent downtime recently as they refine the complex dueling timing. We can expect ongoing tweaks and permits, therefore it is advisable to keep an eye on the Universal Orlando Resort app for updates and possible closures. We are also witnessing the progress of the multi-purpose event space construction, with the initial steps for foundation work currently underway and the floor to be poured and polished before the steel arrives for the I-beam frame. Also a permit with the codename Project 680, a mysterious new expansion currently in the early development stages at Universal's Epic Universe, has sparked intrigue and speculation. While Universal has not officially disclosed the project's purpose, the paper trail left by the local permits filed in late March 2026 provides some concrete clues. This permit stands out as it marks the first time Universal explicitly used the phrase future attraction in a filing for Epic Universe since the park opened in May 2025. The filing was initially spotted by local news and theme park fans. The permit outlines mass grading, utility points of connection, and reroutes. Most project numbers for Epic Universe begin with the number 9, for instance Project 905 for the Ministry of Magic. However, Project 680 deviates from this pattern, leading enthusiasts to speculate that it might be a repurposed concept from a previous development. Given the brief posting and then the removal of the permit from the Orange County website, the rumour mill is abuzz with speculation. The Legends of Zelda rumours suggest Project 680 might be an evolution of the long-rumoured Project 675, which was a Zelda-themed concept for Islands of Adventure that never moved forwards. Luigi's Mansion Super Nintendo World has an expansion pad that could accommodate a spooky ride following the successful formula used in Universal Studios Japan. Creature from the Black Lagoon Dark Universe has a designated expansion area, and a boat ride on the classic monster has been a fan favourite prediction for years. Wizarding World expansion, some believe it could be a phase 2 for the Ministry of Magic to address the early guest feedback about the land's attraction capacity. But there is a lot of space that Epic Universe has to continue to grow, and we'll keep you guys updated. But as of April 2026, no vertical construction has commenced. Over at Volcano Bay, the water park is undergoing some exciting changes. Permits and photos reveal a new parking structure is being constructed south of the water park. Additionally, new cabana foundations are being poured, and the park will close for an extended period starting October the 26th, 2026 for deep maintenance. Or could it be for a new addition? And finally, site preparation for Epic Universe property is underway. Only Universal has the details of the plan. This site is quite large, spanning across Universal Boulevard between the wheel at Icon Park and Pointe Plaza Avenue. Could this be for a new hotel? We know Icon Park was planning the same on its property, but this has gone quiet, perhaps because Universal is ahead of the game. It's going to be a real exciting year with all these developments surrounding Universal property, and everyone's eyes are on the new attractions. But the real question remains, what will happen to the old Supercharged building? We only hope Universal has a plan that doesn't involve another screen-based party train. Personally, I'm holding out hope for the return of a classic attraction, but even I know I'm dreaming a bit on this one. And just before I end this video, I just want to thank BioReconstruct on YouTube and X for sharing these amazing photos of all that's happening here in Orlando, Florida. You can find him in my suggested channels. Please share the love and support. And what new attraction will be built next at Epic Universe? So that's the end of this video. So what excites you the most? Are you eagerly anticipating the new roller coaster at Universal Studios? Let's be honest, the park is missing that headline attraction. Or are you focusing on the new attraction coming to Epic Universe? And what would you want it to be? Or are you all ready for some Halloween action with the return of Jack? It's been way too long, hasn't it? If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and if you haven't already, hit that notification bell and share with your friends and family, as it really does help. Want even more Orlando, Florida updates from inside the parks and outside the parks? Don't forget to check out GottaGoOrlando.com. Now get out there and go and make some memories, and don't forget to check out this video right here. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye YouTube!